Hi everyone, Salesforce Admin Training Day 11. Let's see what we are going to learn today. Today we will be going through the previous session overview, and then we'll talk about the roll-up summary field, and then we'll talk about the converting the lookup to the master detail relationship, and again converting the master detail to the lookup relationship. And also we will talk about many-to-many relationship, which is nothing but a junction object. And we'll talk about the hierarchical relationship, interview questions, and trial headings. Now, what did we learn in the last session?
Master relationship and lookup.
Master detail relationship and the lookup field.
And use case.
Observation. Self-relationship. Also, we have discussed about the
master detail relationship.
Right. Lookup filter configuration. Also, we have discussed a little bit about the roll-up summary. But let's see the roll-up summary. So, roll-up summary is why do I need a roll-up summary? So, for example, I have a position object. In the position object, assume that there are multiple positions are open. So Java developer is open in Hyderabad, manual tester is open in Hyderabad, SFTC developer is open in Bangalore, Java architect position open in the Chennai, SFTC admin Chennai, and these are the salary about each one of them. Assume that these are the positions are open in multiple locations. Now we have a candidates who are applying for a job. So assume that there are different candidates who are applying for the job. So these are the candidates. So total 5 candidates are there who want to apply the job. Now, whenever they wanted to apply a position, that means between the candidate object and position object, there has to be a relationship should be there because which position this person is applying it. So that position ID we have to give it. So for example, if Jyoti is applying a position for the Java developer, then it should be here, position ID should be P001, right? So here the candidate is a child object and position is a parent object. That means we have a relationship between these two is master detail relationship. So that means now I can link the information which are the position is getting applied. So whenever we are applying the jobs, I need to link the which job I'm applying it for. So right, so those information we have to provide it. So here Hyderabad P001. Now that means Jyoti is applied the Java developer in Hyderabad. Ram Gopal is also applied the position for Java developer in Hyderabad. Whereas Sivita is applied in Chennai, so which is a Java architect, and Akash is applied by the SFTC admin. Shailaja is also applied for the SFTC admin. Now assume that there are 10 positions are open. Now here we have only 5 positions. Assume that there are 10 positions are open. For this 10 position, 400 candidates resume we have received it. 400 candidate resumes which we have received it. Now, out of these 400, now company or a manager wants to know out of these 400, how many resumes are for Java developer, how many resumes are for the manual tester, how many resumes are the SFTC developer. They want the count of out of these 400. 400 is the total count of the candidates that we have received, resumes that the company has received. But out of this 400, how many actually for the developer position, Java developer, as SFTC developer? How many are for tester? How many are for architect? How many are for SFTC admin? Now, if they wanted to know, then what they have to do? They have to go to the each record. They have to go to the each record and open this record, note down this is for P001. So that means this is a one record. Now I have a one record which is for the P001. Again, we will go to the second record, we will open again, this is also P001. So that means so far it is a 2. So somebody has to do the calculation manually. Now, instead of doing the calculation manually, so what we can do is on the parent object, we can create a roll-up summary field. We can create a roll-up summary field on the parent object, and the roll-up summary has a different type of roll-up summary fields. Roll-up summary field has a different type of functions. Summary field functions are there. Rollup summary field has a different functions. Now, which one do I need to perform it? So there are different functions are available in the rollup summary. Like for example, right now I wanted to get the count of the candidates for the each position. Count of the candidate for the each position. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to create a rollup summary on the parent object, and then we are going to specify the count equal to. There are different type of summary fields like a count, sum, mini, max. These are the different type of rollup types are there. Right. So here we need a first one count. Now we will see each one of them. Count is basically in order to get the count. Java developer is 2 members are attending it. 2 candidates are applied the position. Now similarly, we have a manual tester. Manual tester is nobody has applied 0. SFDC developer nobody has applied. Java architect is 1 person has applied it, and then SFDC admin 2 members are applied it. So roll up summary field will reduce lot of the manual work for the team. Otherwise, team has to go here and open all the 400 records and check one by one and count it. So, which is a waste of the time. So instead of spending a lot of time, what we can do is we can create a roll-up summary. On creation of the roll-up summary field, we can specify that I will need a count of the records. In that case, it will give the automatically count of the records. In case if this position, if any new position is added for example, SFDC developer. Now there is a new candidate has submitted the resume, and this person is submitted it for the let's say SFDC developer. So that means this is 3. Now as soon as the candidate's record is created, it will create a count here, increase the count from 0 to 1. 0 to 1. So that is the purpose of a roll-up summary field. Roll-up summary fields are the ready-made read-only system generated. It's a read-only system generated. We cannot edit the field. I cannot edit the field, or I cannot modify it. I cannot do anything. So it is a read-only system generated field. Only the thing is that I can provide to the roll-up summary how the calculation should be happen. Count, sum, mini, max. Now roll-up summary field is generated field. Read-only system generated field, and whose values will be generated by the Salesforce system based on the roll-up type selected by the user. Now, what are the type that we are selecting it? Based on that, the calculation which will automatically happens at the back end. Now, roll-up summary fields cannot be editable by any user. We cannot edit anything on the roll-up summary. So we do not have a required field, nothing is available because it's a system generated field. So roll-up summary fields are summarize the child records into the various groups based on the parent record. If you want to summarize it as a count, sum, minimum, maximum, whatever you wanted to do, you can summarize it based on the whatever the records are available. Now, roll-up summary performs the operation by using the roll-up type or an aggregation function. So 2 things will be happen, roll-up type or an aggregate function. Now, once the operation has been done, then it will represent the result on the parent record inside that field. That means as soon as the candidate record is created for the related position, then immediately on that position, the count of the records will be automatically updated. Take a notes of it. Okay, so in the roll-up summary field, we have a different type of, 4 type of roll-up types are there. First one is a count. Count is nothing but it will count the number of records. So we have a count, sum, minimum, max. So count is nothing but it will count the number of records exist in the group. Now sum of the field, nothing but it will get the sum of the all the values for the existing specified. For example, the field type is currency or a number or a percentage, right? So in case if you wanted to sum the currency or a number percentage, whichever the one you wanted to sum up, you can use the sum up, or else you can use the minimum. So here it will find out the least value in the specified field. So what are the minimum amount is there, minimum salary or a minimum number, minimum percentage, whatever it is available, it will try to find out the at least value in the specified field. Now maximum is nothing but it will find out the highest value in the specified field. Now the field type can be either currency or a number or a percentage or date. And these are the different roll-up summary fields. Now we have a roll-up summary fields can be applicable only on the master parent object in the master detail relationship. And if I want to create a roll-up summary field, now I have already created, yesterday we have created roll-up summary field. Yesterday we have created the roll-up summary field on the position object. Now if I go to the position object, if I go to the position object, if I open any record, now it will give me the count of the candidates here, right? So like this, if I wanted to create a multiple roll-up summary fields, I wanted to create multiple roll-up summary fields that are related to the child only, but I wanted to create a multiple. So how many can be created? Maximum we can create a 25 roll-up fields on the parent object. 25 roll-up summary fields can be created on the parent object. Take a notes of it. So yesterday we have already discussed this use case. Another use case, let's see the another use case. So configure a roll-up summary field to represent the number of immediate joiners has been applied for each position. Now I already have a roll-up summary field. Now let's assume that I wanted to create another roll-up summary field. Another roll-up summary field. Another roll-up summary field. The roll-up summary field is, for example, the candidates object. Okay, in this candidate, I would like to know that basically manager would like to know that out of this, how many members are immediate joining? How many members are immediate joining? So let's say I'm going to create a field. Now in the candidate object, I'm going to create a field to identify whether the person is a immediate joinee or is it like a 1 month gap or what is that. So for that, I'm going to create a new field here. Click on the new field. And once we click on the new field, I'm going to create a pick list field. Pick list field. Now click on the next button. Click on next button. Now here, I have a field. I'm going to create a field. Let's say that notice period. Notice period. On this notice period is we have an immediate joining, and 15 days, 30 days, 1 month, or 2 months, right? So these are the values. Now, as it is, I wanted to display it, and click on the next button. Let's click on the next. And then click on the save button. Now in the candidate, how many candidates I have? I have 2 candidates. Now let's open. Do I have more candidates here? Now only 2 candidates are there. So let me open the first candidate. First candidate notice period. Okay. So we have a notice period. Let me go back to the candidates screen. Now this is the all candidates. Now let me add the field to display. I wanted to display the location and also notice period. Click on save. Now we have 2 members who are from Hyderabad. Now here one person says immediate joining, another person says 15 days. The notice period is immediate joining and 15 days. Now on this SFDC admin, I have 2 records are there, right? So these 2 records, I wanted to find out how many are actually immediate joining. Total is 2 records, but out of that, how many are immediate joining? Now, in order to understand that, go to the position object, go to the position object. Inside this position object, I'm going to create another roll-up summary field. Now click on the new button. Now click on here roll-up summary field and then click on the next button. Now let's say that I'm going to create a field immediate joinees. Immediate joinees. Click on the next. And then I'm going to get the count of the immediate joins. Right, so here object is candidates, and then I'm going to get the count of it, but I do not want to get all the records. I just wanted to get only the members who are given that immediate join. So here I'm going to specify the notice period equals to immediate joining, insert selected. Now click on this next button. Now let's click on the next and then save. Now let's refresh here. Right, total candidates are 2, but how many are immediate join? Only 1. So where can I identify? From going to the related list? In the related list, I can check the candidates. But in the candidates, I can only see one field, candidate ID. I'm not able to see who is this person. Again, I need to open the report. Now what we can do is in the page layout, go to the page layout, open the page layout. Now let's say related list. In the related list, I have a candidate object. Let's click on this properties. Edit the properties. Now candidate ID. Along with that, I also want to check the notice period and location. Location is anywhere there. Also, I wanted to add the, let's say, current CTC. Click on OK. Now, how many I have added? 3 of them are added. Now, along with the current CTC, I also wanted to see expected CTC. Click on OK. Then the expected CTC will be populated. Similarly, I'm going to update here this immediate joining on this side. Click on save. Now let's refresh this. Now, immediate joining is 1 members. Go to the related list. In the related list, we have a candidate who is the immediate joinee. I can look at this immediate joinee and I can say that, okay, this person is the immediate joinee, right? So I can go to this person details and also I can check here what is the expected. Is it equal to the company expectations or is it a different? So based on that, what I can do is I can go to the candidate, right? So if I have a 10 candidates here, out of 10 candidates, if I sort with this notice period, I can see who are the actually the immediate joinees. I can cross verify. I can cross verify. Like this, we can create a roll-up summary fields. Total 25 roll-up summary fields we can create it per object. Per object, we can create a 25 roll-up summary fields. Now that's about this position object, child object candidate, roll-up field on. We have created the position object and the field is immediate joining. Filter condition is candidate notice period equal to immediate joining and the roll-up type is count. So that's what we have created right now. Right, so take a notes of the second screen also. Take a notes of this. Okay. So that's about the roll-up summary field. Now let's move on to the homework. So roll-up summary field homework. Configure the roll-up summary field on the account object to calculate the total revenue generated by per each customer. Per each customer means opportunity. So parent object is a account, child object is a opportunity, roll-up type is sum. So you need to get the total whatever the revenue is generated, sum of that particular amount field. And then roll-up type, roll-up field is on the account object. Type is the count. Sorry, type is the sum. Sum of the amount. Take a notes on roll-up summary field homework.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
We cannot create an account object on a roll-up summary. We can account is a standard object, ma'am.
Why can't we create a okay?
Master
Have
detail
you
relation-
tried it? Have you tried it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Clients,
It is only create on master data relationship object.
click on new. Roll-up summary. Click on next. Total revenue. And click on the next button. Object is an opportunity, sum of amount, and click on the next button. Click on the next. Click on save. We can go to the client's object, which is that is the account object. Now here, if I go to the Infosys, does Infosys has the opportunity? It does not have the opportunity. Let me take the opportunities that has a account name. So this has an opportunity. So total amount is 7210 and here 195. Let's go to the detail and here is the total revenue. Are we able to create a roll-up summary build on the account?
Yes.
Yesterday only I have explained that master data we cannot create it on the child object, but by default, Salesforce is providing that flexibility. If you are not able to implement, you cannot able to implement a master data relationship, but you have a flexibility to create a roll-up summary field. So yesterday only I have explained that. Now let's move on. And then converting a lookup to master detail relationship. Now, I have already implemented a lookup relationship. Assume that lookup relationship is already implemented between the two objects. The lookup relationship is already implemented between the two objects. Now here one object and here another object is there. Right? So between these two objects, we already have a lookup relationship is already implemented. Lookup relationship is already implemented. Now assume that this is a child object which is looking for the parent object. This is the parent object. Now, the relationship is already implemented here, which is called as a lookup relationship. Lookup relationship which is already implemented. So that means data type is a lookup. Here, whenever we talk about the lookup relationship, master detail relationship, the first thing you need to remember is these are the data types. These are the data types. Data type is lookup relationship. And master detail relationship. Master detail relationship. So we have two data types. So that means you are converting from one data type to another data type. There is a data type which is already implemented there. Now you are converting, you are changing the data type from either lookup to master data relationship. This is for converting from the lookup to master data relationship. That means you are changing the data type of the field from the lookup relationship to the master detail relationship. Lookup relationship to the master detail relationship. So that's about here. So basically both of them are a data types, lookup relationship, master detail relationship. So whenever we are, or whenever somebody talking about that I'm converting the lookup relationship to the master detail relationship, means they are changing the data type on the field level from the lookup relationship to the master detail relationship. Take a note of it. Now, whenever we wanted to convert from the lookup relationship to the master detail relationship, what all things are needed? Can I do it directly just by going to the field and click on the edit button, update the data type? Can I do it directly, or do I need to do any prerequisites? We'll see that. Take a note of it. Okay. No, anytime if you wanted to update or if you wanted to convert from lookup relationship data type to the master detail relationship, then it requires some prerequisites. That means while converting the from the lookup to the master detail relationship, we have to make sure that every child record should be associated with parent record. Now let me show you that. Now we have a candidate object. And this is the candidate object. Let's go to the open. Now here we have a position record, which is a mandatory. Now from the hiring manager, from the position, did we create a master detail relationship or? Okay, this is also mandatory. Okay. Let me do one thing. What else object I have? Okay. I have a customer custom. Now we have a customer's object, right? So this customer object is right now it has just the information. Click on here, Anita. And this customer object is having the parent customer, right? Only the parent customer we have it. So what I'm going to create it is, I'll be creating a lookup relationship on this custom customer object. The lookup relationship to the account. The lookup relationship to the account. Let's go here. Now go to the customer object. Inside this customer object, I'm going to create a fields and relationship. Let's create a new button. Now let's click on the lookup relationship. Click on the next button. I'm going to implement a lookup relationship with the object called client, which is a standard object. Client is a standard object, that is the account object. Click on the next button. Now, as it is, I'm giving it, click on the next button. And then save. Now we have a account object on this customer, which is a lookup relationship. Right, so this is the lookup relationship. Now if I go to the let's say here all. Now we have a customer name. Let me place the another field on this list view. Another field is client. Click on save. Now, right now we do not have any data. So for example, I'll say that Anita is connected to the Swapna IT. And also Anusha is connected to the, let's say, Infosys. Now click on save. Now out of 3 records, 2 records have the value in the client. Right, this is the lookup relationship. Now client is we have created a field called client where the data type is lookup relationship. Now this lookup relationship generally it's not mandatory, it's a loosely coupled. Whether you might have a value, might not have a value, that's probably fine. Right now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to convert this lookup relationship to the master data relationship. I wanted to convert the lookup relationship to the master detail relationship. So I'll click on the edit button here. Click on the edit button. Now change the field type. Change the field type. Now whenever we click on a change field type on the relationship fields, it will show only 3 data types, only 2 data types, lookup relationship or master detail relationship. That's it. Whereas if you click on the other data types, for example, if I click on the text, if I click on the edit button on text, and if I try to change the text data type to the another one. Let's take this rich text area, click on the edit. And if I click on the change field type, now it is showing the text area and text rich. Right, so based on this, based on the from which to which, what is the possibility of change? You cannot change from lookup relationship to the text field, right? You cannot change the lookup relationship to the phone field. Similarly, rich text area, you cannot change the rich text area to the like a phone number. You cannot change the rich text area to the any other relationship, either lookup relationship or master data relationship, which is not valid. So what are the possible way to change it? What are the, like if I'm changing the data type, what should be the suitable one? What should be the suitable data type is Salesforce is going to suggest. Salesforce is going to suggest. So similarly, if you are changing the data type of either lookup or a master detail relationship, Salesforce suggests what are the current data type you have it. From that data type, you can change to either master or a lookup. Either master or lookup. You cannot change to any other data type. Now click on the next button. Now I'm changing to the master detail relationship. I have already updated it, master detail relationship, and you can see the settings. The configuration is also updated. Now it is showing the sharing settings, right? Because owner is getting updated. In the child record, owner will be deleted, right? So it is showing the allow parenting, everything. Now click on a save. When I click on a save, what will happen? It will give the error message. Cannot create a master data relationship. The reason is you must first create the lookup relation. The reason here is whenever we are changing the lookup to master detail relationship, we have to make sure, or a developer has to make sure, or a developer admin has to make sure that the lookup field should be having the value in it. Each record, that means each record should be having the value within that. Each record should be having the value in the lookup field. So that's the prerequisite. Whenever we wanted to change, first thing is that we need to cross verify all the records. Does all the records has the value within the lookup relationship? If there is no value within the lookup relationship, we cannot create a master detail relationship. That is the prerequisite which is needed. Now navigation steps, once you cross verify it, for example, I have cross verified it. Now data is also for the client, let's say Swapna IT. Now click on save. Now every record is associated with some value of the lookup field. Now next part is we need to go to the steps. We need to go to the child object, right? So go to the fields and relationship and click on the edit link on the which are the relationship field we wanted to modify it, and the change the field type button. Click on that change field type button. Now when you click on that change field type button, it will ask you to select the data type, either lookup or master. Two options it will give you, right? So change the option to master detail relationship, click on the next button and save it. Now let's go ahead and change it again. Now here it is an error. Now let's refresh. Now on top also it is saying that custom dot cannot add a parent exception. Custom dot cannot add a parent exception. So that is the error which is giving. Now let's go to the customer object. Now this is the object. Now let's go to the fields and relationship. Now we have a lookup field. Click on the edit button and change the field type. Now I'm going to change from lookup relationship to the master data relationship. Click on the next button. Click on next button and then save. Now the field is converted from the lookup to the master data relationship. It is converted from the master to lookup relationship. Right? Why it worked? Because my child object is a customer object and standard object is a parent object. That's the reason I'm able to update it here from the lookup to master. But in case if you have a child object as a standard object, you cannot do that. Now, in case this is converting the lookup to master data relationship, take a notes of it. Now, in case from the master to lookup, I wanted to change other way from the master detail relationship to the lookup. If I wanted to convert from the master detail relationship to the lookup relationship, it's just a straightforward. It's a straightforward. No prerequisites are required. No prerequisites are required. That means directly I can change the data type from the relationship master detail to the lookup. Let's assume, let's go to the candidate object. In the candidate object, we already have a master detail relationship. I have a master detail relationship. Click on the fields and relationship. Now here is the master detail relationship. Click on this edit button. Click on edit. Why it is not showing here? Cancel. Oh, how many are there here? Fields and relationship, master detail, position. Now let me go back to the customer. Let's go back to the customer. In the customer, if I wanted to change the fields and relationship from the master detail to the lookup relationship, you click on this change field type. You can change it to the lookup relationship. No prerequisites are required. And then click on the save button, which is changed from the master detail relationship to the lookup. Now this is the directly we can change it. There is no dependence or prerequisites. Nothing is required from the master to lookup, which is directly we can change it. Now position record. Click on this position record. Click on this edit. Let's say I'm going to remove this. Do I have any filter? I don't have any filter. Click on this save. Master detail option, relate to the position. But why it is not showing the master detail relationship? Not showing the change field type. Okay. So in case if we have it, okay, the reason is, I can tell you why it is not showing the change field type here is because we have implemented a roll-up summary field. We have implemented a roll-up summary field on the parent object. Now, if I go to the parent object, right here we have a roll-up summary field which we have implemented. Now, in case if we implement a roll-up summary field, we will not be able to change the data type from the master detail relationship to the lookup relationship. We cannot change it. Now, this is one roll-up summary field. Let's delete this. Click on delete. And click on the another roll-up summary field. Click on this delete. If we have a roll-up summary field, we cannot convert the database from the master detail relationship to the lookup relationship because the roll-up summary is already implemented. Now, if I click on the edit button, now it is going to show me the change field type. Let me refresh. No. Let's see that it is completely deleted or not. So let's go to the switch to classic. Switch to Salesforce Classic. And click on the setup. Now we are checking the position object. So that means it is a custom object. So go to the custom objects, which is you need to search here object. Search the object, and here is the objects. Now the one which we have deleted is a position object. Now whatever we have deleted in the lightning we cannot see, but in classic we can see. So here is the deleted fields. So click on these deleted fields and completely erase it. That means remove it from the completely from or, because whenever we delete the fields, we cannot see it from the recycle bin. You cannot see from the recycle bin. Even if you go to the recycle bin, what are the fields that are created, it won't be available in the recycle bin. Now if you click on this recycle bin, in the recycle bin, deleted fields will not be available. Whatever the fields you have deleted, in Lightning we cannot see deleted fields, but in the classic, when you go to the specific object, in the object, custom fields and relationship, here we have a deleted fields. So go to this deleted fields and then erase it. Yes, I wanted to remove it permanently. Similarly, the other one also, yes, I wanted to remove it permanently. Now here I have the information that is done. Now let's click on right click, inspect, refresh the screen. Now here it is, change field type. Change field type is available. So only change field type you can see on the master detail relationship if there are no roll-up summary fields on the parent object, then only it is available to, then only you can see the change field type. Now once I click on the change field type, click on the lookup relationship, click on the next button. And then click on save. Now it is updated, it is converted from the master detail relationship to the lookup relationship. Master data relationship to the lookup relationship, it is updated. Clear? Any questions so far? Okay. Now let's move on. The next one is assignment. Take an assignment. Convert the lookup relationship between the student and books object to the master detail relationship. So yesterday, you guys might have implemented the relationship between the student and books. So convert that lookup relationship to the master detail relationship. And the second one is convert the lookup relationship between the project and team member from the lookup relationship to the master detail relationship. Take assignments. Okay. Now, next topic is many-to-many relationship, which is nothing but a junction object. In real time, mostly you will hear about junction object. What is this many-to-many relationship? What is this junction object? Now let's take a scenario. Let's say I have an author object. This is author object, and then I have a books object. Two objects, two independent objects are there. Right? Two objects we have created, author object and books object. In the author object, we have a records like a author names. These are the author names from which location this author is. So we have a few records in the author object. Similarly, on the book object, so there are some books who has written like a Java programming, manual testing book, and ASP.NET book, Oracle SQL book, and C language book. There are few books are there. Now, either of this, whoever is the 5 members authors are there, either of any or combinedly, they might have implemented the book. Right? So one author can write a multiple books. One book can be written by multiple authors. One book can be written by the multiple authors. That means now here I have a Java program. Java program is written by the author called John. Also, the same Java programming is written by the Balaguru Swami. And as well as Vivekananda also written. So all three combinedly written the book of Java program. Right? They have written the book of Java program. Now, similarly, manual testing. Manual testing is written by the Vivekananda as well as it is written by the Chetan. 2 members have written the manual testing. Similarly, ASP.NET. ASP.NET is also written by the Robert as well as written by the John and the Balaguru Swami. 3 members have written the ASP.NET. Same with Oracle SQL. So Oracle SQL is implemented by only one person, which is called as a Chetan. And then C language. C language is written by the, as in that Robert, and also it is written by the Balaguru Swami. Then these are the where I have a multiple authors has written the multiple books, and similarly multiple books are written by the authors. So here sharing is one author is written multiple books, one book is written by the multiple authors. Right? Usually, whether it is a lookup relationship or master detail relationship are nothing but one parent, multiple child. Either it could be a lookup or a master, one parent and multiple child. But here, if you look at this one, we have a multiple parents, multiple, right? Both the sides are having multiple connection is there. I cannot say one author is written only multiple books. There is a possibility that one book is written by the multiple authors. So that means in this case, there is no child. In this case, there is no child. Both are parent. Both are parent object. There is no child. Now, in this scenario, if we wanted to handle this kind of a situation, what we have to do is we need to create a junction object. We need to create a junction object. In this junction object, what we have to do is we need to add a author ID. This is a junction object name is book author. Book author, and which is a child object, And this author ID is connected to the author object, and book ID is connected to the book object. That means on the book author child object, you have two master detail relationships which are implemented. Two master detail relationships are implemented on the child object. One is author ID, looking for the author object, and another one is the book ID, looking for the book object. Now this is the junction object, and in this junction object, now is A1001 is written the B405 book, and number of pages is 900. Similarly, A1001 is written the B407 book, and number of pages is 1000. Similarly, A1002 is written the B406 book manual testing and the number of pages is 845. Similarly, the A1002 is written the another book which is called as a B408 Oracle SQL is 1400, right? 1400 pages are there. And the last one is A1003 is Robert is written the book called B407 ASP.NET and same thing number of pages is a 1450. So that means here I have a two relationship in the child object. One relationship is with the author, another relationship with the book. So and both are master detail relationship. So junction object always have the master detail relationship between the child and parent. Clear? So this is the assignment. You guys have to do it. So what you need to do is step 1 is create a author object. Now let's say here. You need to create a junction object homework. So step 1 is create a object, create a author object, create author create a author object. Step 2, before going to step 2, in step 1.1, in step 1.1, within the author object, create a fields, create fields. Fields are create a author ID, author name, and then location. And step 2, create book object, create book object.
Hi.
Hi.
ఎక్కడ
Step
బయలుదేరుతుంది
2.2 is
యూనిక్ బాక్స్ కావాలంటే
step 2.2 is create a fields, book ID, book title, and then what is the price of the book. Now step 3, create book author, create book authors object. Now step 3.1, create fields within the book author object, author ID, write book ID, and then number of pages. Also create a auto number which is called as a book author's ID. This is the auto number. Now, once you create this, once you done with this step, the next one is a step 4. Step 4. In the step 4, on book author object, step 4.1, create a master detail relationship. Between author object and book author object. Between the author object and book author object. Now, step 4.2. Create master details relationship between book object and book author's object. So this is the relationship you have to implement it. Take a notes of it. Okay. Now let's move on. And another homework. Now, contact object. Contact object is a standard object. Contact object is standard object. Now, create another object which is a custom object. Custom object is a room. This is a custom object. This is a custom object. Custom object is room. And also create another object which is called as a reservation. Create a object as reservation. Now, reservation has to link with, and also we have another object which is called as a hotel object. Another object which is a hotel. Now, there are three custom objects: reservation, room, hotel. Reservation, room, hotel. So, for example, this contact is want to book a room in the hotel. This person want to book a hotel in the room. In that case, what we need to implement a application for the hotel management. Right? For that, what I'm doing is we have to create a one custom object which is called as a reservation. Room is another custom object and hotel is another custom object. So total three custom objects are there. From the reservation, you need to link it to the contact. From the reservation, you need to implement a master detail relationship. Master detail relationship to the contact. Similarly, reservation also we need to implement a master detail relationship. That means here reservation is a junction object between the contact and room. Between the contact and room. Because one person can book a multiple rooms. Similarly, room also can be shared by multiple contacts. That means one contact can book a multiple rooms. Multiple rooms can be booked by the one contact. So in this case, what we are doing is we have to create a master detail relationship between room and contact. We have another object which is called as a reservation. That is a junction object. From this junction object, we need to link the master detail relationship to the contact. From the junction object, we need to link the master detail relationship to the room. That means we have a junction object which is connected to the room and master detail. Again, from the room, we need to link it to the hotel. And here linking has to be done master detail relationship. You have a linking from the room master detail relationship. That means in the reservation, you have a fields called room, contact details, start date, end date. So this room is looking for the master detail relationship of the room, as well as the contact details also looking for the master detail relationship here. On the room, you have a fields room number, which is a auto number. Hotel is the master detail relationship from the room. Number of members, how many members are going to stay in this room, and check-in time and the check-out time. And on the hotel name, street name, what are the state, city is there, those information is on the, those fields on the hotel. Now create this structure in your Salesforce org. Now, right now, you guys might be aware how to create a master detail relationship and lookup relationship, right? So create this structure in your org. Take a notes of it or take a screenshot of it. Now create this structure in the org. Done. Okay. Now, after creating this structure, create a records in reservation, create a records in contact, create a records in room, create a records in hotel. At least five records you have to create it. At least 5 records you have to create it. Now, once the records are created in this, now actual scenario comes here. Now, the question I would like to understand from you guys, when we delete the contact record, what will happen to the reservation and the room object? That means I have a 5 records here. Now each object has a 5 records, right? If I delete a 1 record, which is associated to the reservation, right? If I delete a contact record, what will happen to the reservation and what will happen to the room that is linked? Now these 3 are linked to each other, right? So if I delete a master detail relationship, this record, if I delete this, what will happen to the reservation record, which is connected to the contact, and similarly room, which is connected to the reservation? What will happen to these 2 objects? And if we delete a reservation object, what will happen to the hotel? What will happen to the contact? What will happen to the room? Right. Similarly, if I delete a room, the record inside the room, if I delete a record inside the room, what will happen to the contact object? What will happen to the reservation object? What will happen to the hotel object record? What will happen to the contact record? What will happen to the reservation record? What will happen to the hotel record? Now, similarly, if I delete a hotel record, what will happen to the room record? What will happen to the room record, and then what will happen to the reservation record? Right? What will happen to the contact record? these observations is the assignment. So assignment is you need to find out when the record is created in the contact, what will happen to the reservation and room object. When we delete the room record, what will happen to the reservation, hotel and contact. And when we delete the hotel record, what will happen to the room and reservation. Now you need to note down all the scenarios as well as the observations that you have done it in the junction object. Right? From the creation of the junction object, creation of that, then whatever the actions you are performing it, all the observations you have to note down. All the observations you have to note down, that is the assignment. You take a notes of it. Let's move on. So some of the information related to the junction object are many to many relationship. Let's assume I have a object 1 and object 2. Right? From object 1 to object 2 will be a one to many relationship. Right? Or object 2 to object 1, it is a one to many relationship. So whenever you wanted to implement now between the two objects, you wanted to have a two ways. That means from here one record to the multiple records. Similarly, from here, I wanted to implement from one, this is the object two, from the object two to object one, we wanted to implement multiple. So from here one to many, from this side one to many. So whenever you wanted to, whenever you have that kind of a scenario or a requirement, then we have to go for a many to many relationship, which is called as a junction object. If the objects are associated one to many relationship, both the sides, then it is called as a many to many relationship or many to many association or junction object or junction object. Now, that means here I have a one object this side, I have one object this side and another object is this side. Now this connection has to be linked to the multiple to this and this is also has to link to the multiple this side. So whenever you have this kind of a scenario, then we have to go with the many to many relationship or else the many to many relationship, the same thing we call it as a junction object. So we can achieve this feature by creating the child object as. So many to many is not possible between the two objects. So in between that, what we have to do is we need to create a child object, which is going to allow both the parents to connect each other. With the help of child object, we can create a junction object. So junction object is nothing but the feature is by creating the child object, which will associate with both the parents. We have a two parents here, both the parents with the master detail relationship. Now, junction object should be always associated with both the parents, master detail relationship. You cannot go for the lookup relationship. Now, while removing the any parent record from the parent object, the associated child records from the junction object will be get removed automatically. So that is the standard master detail relationship functionality. If I remove the parent object of the master detail relationship, ultimately the child object will be deleted. But in this child object, so that means I have let's go to the previous scenario. Now this is, I'm deleting the contact record in the parent, deleting the contact record in the parent. When I delete a contact record in the parent, the child record should be automatically removed, right? When it is removing this one, does it remove this one? Or does it really remove the reservation or not? So there is a slightly change, but you guys try it. In case if there are any issues, we can discuss about this assignment tomorrow. Right, but by default, master detail relationship feature is whenever we delete a parent record, child records get deleted automatically, right? Now take a notes of it. Done. And the next homework, which I have already provided, implement a author object, both the records, and also you need to implement a book author object. Now you need to create a fields inside the all three objects. Then you need to implement a master data relationship between the book author and author object. Similarly, you need to implement a master data relationship between the book author and author object. Then you need to list out all the observation. This is we have already, you guys have already taken the homework. The next one is hierarchical relationship. Now, first of all, hierarchical relationship. Are we able to see the hierarchical relationship? For example, if I go to the new object, if I click on the new field on this custom object, just a second. So here, so you need to, for example, I wanted to create a hierarchical relationship. If I wanted to create a hierarchical relationship, how will I create it? Because here I can see only three relationships are there: lookup relationship, master data relationship, and external lookup relationship. Even if I go to the standard object, right? If I go to the account object, no, account is not the client object. So if I go to the client object, click on this client and fields and relationship. And if I click on this new, I cannot see the hierarchical relationship here. I cannot see the hierarchical relationship. Hierarchical relationship is only available on the user object. Go to the user object. So user is the standard object. Now inside this standard object, if you click on this new field, in this new field, we have an option that you can see here, hierarchical relationship. Hierarchical relationship is only available in a one object which is called as a user object. Only one object which is called as a user object. So in the user object, let's assume that we have a table, user ID, username, designation, manager. And there are few records which are already available. right? Let's assume that E001 is a Ramkumar designation is CEO, like this we have it, right? Now, manager is nothing but the user, everybody is working in the company. Everybody is working in the company, but every person has to report to some other person, right? Now, in Salesforce also, we have a 10 users who are working on the Salesforce app. But definitely for those 10 users, there might be a different managers for each user, right? So that manager is also a user. That manager is also a user. Now that means I have a developer here. Developer is reporting to the team lead, right? Team lead is reporting to the manager. Manager is reporting to the vice president, right? This is this is the reporting, but I'm not talking about the reporting. Okay, I just wanted to know when I go to this user record, who is the manager of this person? Who is the manager of this person? How do I know that? Now, this is Ram Kumar is a CEO. That should be totally fine. For example, I have a junior software engineer. Now, if I go to this record, I should be able to identify by clicking on this record. I should be able to identify who is the manager of this person. That means I need to have a link within the user. Link within the user. Now, in order to have a link, so for example, the Praveen is manager is Ramkumar, right? And the similarly E003 is the manager for this person is a Praveen. Similarly, E004, right? The manager for the whoever is the manager is for Suresh. Sunny's manager is Praveen, right? So like this, we have a multiple managers who can actually have it. So this hierarchical is which is similar to the self relationship, which is a similar to the self relationship, but it's a very thin line here. So when I say thin line, so in the user object, basically this manager field is looking up to the same record. Now here manager is have a relationship here within the same user object, within the same user object. Same with the self relationship also. Self relationship is nothing but I have a single object. Inside that object only, I'm looking for another record. But there is a very thin line here for the user object. If you want to create a link within the two records within the same object, then only possibility is using the hierarchical relationship. Now E002 Praveen is reporting to the Ram Kumar. That means here it will display the E001. Now E003, the person is reporting to the Praveen. That means here it will display the E002. Similarly, E004 Swati is reporting to the Suresh, which is the E003. And E005 is reporting to the E002, which is a Praveen. So that means we have a manager is looking up to the same object, but a different record I can link it. So this is only possible in the user object. If you want to create that linking inside this user object, only the possibility is hierarchical relationship. Hierarchical relationship. You cannot create a self relationship here. We do not have a lookup or a master. Right. So hierarchical relationship allows the map of the association of the object itself. The same object we can create a relationship. So that means here both parent record and child record will get exist in the same object. Right. Hierarchical relationship is applicable only for the one object, which is a standard object, that is user object. We can map one user to another user. We can map one user to another user. Take a notes of it. Done. Now take your assignment. Configure the hierarchical relationship between the user and user object and list out all the observations. This is the assignment. Now next interview questions. How many roll-up summary fields can be created per object? What are the different aggregate functions while creating the roll-up summary field? Which object should we create a roll-up summary field, on parent or on child? Can developer edit the roll-up summary field? How many objects do we need in order to implement a many-to-many relationship? What is a junction object? And why do we need it? And why do we need it? What is junction object? Why do we need it? How many objects does hierarchical relationship support? What is roll-up summary field in Salesforce? List out the functions of the roll-up summary fields. What happened to the junction record when someone deleted the one parent record? These are the interview questions, and I'm giving you the trial head link. That's all for today.